Right,
Hello
mate.
everyone, welcome back to Monday's video. So, how did you get on with camping at the weekend?
It was alright, mate.
Was it?
Other than waking up feeling like, feeling like we've run out of oxygen,
Because you basically had.
pretty much. Should have opened a window, I think.
Tell everyone what you did then, mate.
We camped in the back of the Legacy.
What is an estate legacy for?
Exactly.
If it ain't for camping in the back of.
Yeah.
Looked quite good fun though.
Yeah, it was. It was fun, but definitely need to work something out for the old sleeping arrangements, and definitely need to crack a window open next time.
I think so.
I think I nearly died.
As cold as your missus is,
Yeah.
get some oxygen in, innit?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, I spent 2 days sitting on 2 separate beaches. Didn't even go out on the jet ski.
No.
Done the old ribs, mate,
Oh
at the
yeah,
gym.
the rib.
Done the ribs. Bit tender at the minute.
Mm.
Feeling a little bit more than me age. Who's that? So yeah, pretty good weekend. Weather's lovely.
Yeah.
Even warmer today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very
But we
hot
ain't gonna
today.
moan.
No.
Ain't gonna moan. Right, what we got going on? Cosworth day for me, as usual. So the 4-wheel drive Sapphire Cosworth, got the pistons there. I have sized the rods. I've just got to balance them end for end. A job that I was ideally wanting to do today, but I didn't get around to it.
No.
You have got the clutch and flywheel that the customer dropped in today.
Oh yeah, that's
so we've got to,
for this one, yeah?
Yep, so we've got to face the flywheel. It's a pretty new clutch,
Yeah.
which he wants to use. So we're going to use that, balance it all, and then I can get that bottom end put together, mate.
Yeah.
Friday, we ordered a Helix uprated clutch kit for this one here, because this one's going to be more power.
Yeah.
You face the flywheel?
Yeah,
You balance
face the
that
flywheel.
assembly?
That's all balanced, that one.
Nice.
Crank's just in the wash.
Excellent. And in here, over there, I've finished long stud in that 200 block, the one we got from Portugal.
Oh yeah.
Just finished honing it, so that block is complete now. I've got to give it a little lick of paint.
Nice.
And then we can clean it out tomorrow, and I can start building that bottom end soon.
Hopefully it cools down a bit tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully. This is the block that I've had to bore for the customer that I've managed to sell, the 205 one.
Oh yeah.
Just had the pistons come in, got to put my pockets in there.
Nice.
Because it turns out that this block was 1/2 mil already, but whoever had bought it actually 3 thou oversize. So although the bores were okay, couldn't use it like that, and it was oversized anyway. So we've had to go to 1 mil on it.
Yeah.
So hopefully by tomorrow this one will be ready to go. Got all the bits in the box in there. A little bit of a setback on the Morris.
Yeah, just missing a head nut and a wood rough key as well.
Okay.
So yeah, hopefully. Well, you ordered that now, haven't you?
Yeah, ordered.
Yeah.
I've ordered a set of washers, a set of nuts for this, mate. So hopefully they'll be here by Wednesday.
Ideal.
We can crack on.
Yeah. So yeah, I got a little bit stuck with that,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's all ready to put together. Really, it's just waiting on them little bits, and then it can get all be finished.
With thumbnail and title will be coming in a minute. We had a little visitor today, didn't we, mate?
We did.
Took me by surprise. Won't say any more for a minute. But over here on the floor, we have a Civic Type R. This is a 2004, my favourite model.
Yeah, I think it's probably mine. Although I do like the FN2s as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like these ones. But basically, this is the second one of these bottom ends we've seen that have run short of oil ever.
Oh right.
They never give any trouble, these bottom ends, unless you run short of oil.
Yeah.
The problem is the rings get tired. We can see on there the oil control rings got a little bit weak and tired. You know, they have some hard work, don't they, up around 100,000 miles.
Especially if they're being revved to 9 grand.
Which most of them are, most of the time.
Yeah.
So it looks like that's what's happened. With a lot of these modern oils now, they don't burn as blue as the old oil. So you're probably not going to necessarily see that it's using a lot of oil.
Yeah.
But it actually is. They haven't checked their oil. the customer knows it's his fault for not checking the oil and it's run short. Well, in a way, he's got away with it lightly. He hasn't spun a main, so the block's good. But the crank's looking distinctly second-hand, so very unlikely we're going to be able to salvage that.
That's that big end there, isn't it?
This one here. Yeah. But I shall get John to stick it up, see if it is, by any miracle chance, it's straight.
Yeah.
If it is, and you can get undersized shells, we might try and grind it. I don't know. Don't know how bad it is, but if not, it's going to be a new crank. And then we've got the job of going through this, building the short motor, mate. Go through the head and put the necessary bits in.
Nice.
Civic Type R.
Yeah, should be a nice one to do, really.
Yeah.
They don't look like there's too much to them, really.
No, not really.
Other than that, all the cam stuff. But
yeah,
that's
all the cam, all this jiggery
bad,
pokery stuff. This is all a bit.
It's not like the BMW ones, is it? But
no, it's actually
a lot simpler.
It's a very effective, simple sort of setup, really.
Yeah.
So what you've got on here is the camshafts. You see down here, you've got two normal lobes, which you would have on any 16 valve camshaft, but you've got one high lift lobe in the middle.
Looks like long duration as well.
Yep, a lot longer duration, a lot higher lift. Basically, the car wouldn't run very well at all locked on that lobe normally. But what this system does, in a nutshell, works off oil pressure, and what it does is this will sort of just travel up and down on the lobe there doing nothing, and then when these little pistons come in and lock into here, it then works. So that's what they call the VTEC.
Runs off the
it
big
locks
lobe
in there and then runs off the big lobe. That's why you get that instant note change of the VTEC system. That's exactly what it is.
Pretty clever.
Very clever.
Great for NA engines, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which, like these are.
And you can adjust when that comes in from, because it's based on oil pressure. You can adjust. I think you can adjust the VTEC timing, can't you, by changing the oil pressure amount when it comes in, basically.
Cool.
So it'll all be sort of pressure all
is there an electronic unit or a sensor or something?
It'd be an electronic unit, yeah. So it'll work on, whether it works on revs, I don't know.
Yeah. Sure.
But you can adjust that. So yeah, really good set. And the head, this is all separate to the head. The head's fairly basic, just a normal 16 valve with fairly larry valves in. Lovely motor.
Yeah. This is the K20, isn't it?
K20, yeah. I've had these bottom ends in before. I've done a couple with the key. They call it the Frankenstein, don't they? With the K24 bottom end.
Oh right.
2.4 and a K20 head.
Oh right.
And also I've seen these where they put the trick liners in them to make them stronger, and they turbo them.
Nice.
Quite easy 500 horsepower in it out of these.
Nuts.
Yeah, mental.
It's cool.
Good bit of kit, mate.
Yeah.
So that's what we've got going on at the minute. As I said on the last video, I've got the pistons for this one, so we'll crack on with that when I've got 5 minutes, which I never have at the minute. But yeah, I'm just getting all the machining done and getting all these motors to the stage where I can build them, really. And Meccano, innit? But I'm going to head in the office now and tell you about the little visit I had today. Took me by surprise, that one, mate. Never had that before.
No. Very strange.
It is very strange.
Brave.
I would say so. Hello, guys. I haven't been in this office doing a little sit down for a while, have we? Feels quite cosy, actually. Background's changed. Haven't got the meter in the background there. We've got a nice plant, a few folders, make it look very officey. But yeah, so today's thumbnail and title, guys. I haven't had a moan like this for a while. Took me by surprise, this one. So just to recap, now I haven't looked into the exact details because I can't entirely remember. I'm not going to mention any names, of course, etc. But once upon a time, I think it was a couple of years ago, may have been just before the channel, may have been at the beginning of the channel, can't really remember, probably did a few videos on this. We had a customer who we did an engine for. Probably, I think it was about 3 years prior to that. He's come back in, always sort of made out he was a friend of the business. And he had a particular old car that we did the engine for, as I say. He brought it back saying it's leaking oil out the back. They do a modified rear seal kit for it. Would we be interested in fitting it? Now, what this entailed on this particular engine was, because the sump was all part of the rear cover and all that, it had to all come to bits. It was a simple enough old engine, but it was the way it was designed and sort of assembled meant that to do the machining for this rear seal meant that it all had to come to bits. So we said, yes, we will, but obviously it's an aftermarket thing. If you're going to supply it, you know, he said, well, I'll tell you what, boys, and these were his words, I won't hold it against you if anything goes wrong. But so we, you know, went ahead and did it. So we give him the bill, did this rear seal conversion, put it all back together. There was a couple of bits and bobs that we had to do along the way. Obviously, it's had 3 years of use since us doing it last time. That's what we did. Everything was good. He went away. Then the seal was leaking. So he's come back and said, would you be interested in trying to, you know, I know what we said. And we said, well, we will, but, you know, there's not really anything that we know we can do more to stop it leaking. I'm not even sure why it's leaking. So we've had it in, we've took it all to bits. Couldn't see any reason why it was leaking. So we've assembled it back. You know, obviously clean with the correct sealant and gaskets, blah de blah, and that was it. He then takes it away, still leaking. So what he basically turned around then and said, what are you going to do about it? And we said, well, look, from our original conversation, you said you weren't going to hold it against us. Now, this was the time before we were putting everything down in email and what have you. Like you guys suggested in the videos. Now we obviously do, we get everything in black and white, but back then we still dealt with customers that have been coming here for years, a bit sort of a gentleman's agreement sort of thing, and that's what this one was. But we all know now, we live and learn, and we know that there is no such thing really, especially in this day and age. So yeah, he was like, what are you going to do about it? He then took it upon himself, if I remember correctly. He's took it up country to someone that specialises in this particular engine. And to cut a long story short, he's had this gentleman go through it. He's come forward and said, look, he wants to redo the whole engine. I said, well, that's nothing to do with us. It didn't come in here for an engine recondition. We only had to take it to bits to do this seal. I then spoke to the gentleman up country who was a specialist and told him the situation. And on the phone, this gentleman said to me, yeah, I understand that. I can see that you've done a lot of work and it doesn't need this, it doesn't need that, you know, just... but I understand that he sort of had to go through it, the same as what we do now. If we do it, we're going to do it properly. So basically, he then come at us with... Once the engine was done, he come at us with about, I believe it was about £4,500 bill, really. We obviously told him that we weren't going to pay that. And going by our original gentleman's agreement, that wasn't what we discussed, and that wasn't the agreement. He then took us to court. Basically, I got a solicitor who, whether he wrongly or rightly advised me, he said, look, if this actually goes into court, we've tried to settle the figure. He said, if this does go in, bear in mind you could be paying the full amount plus fees, etc. I would offer him this. So we had to basically make an agreement outside the court, pay him off, which was several £1,000, mind. And that was it. Yeah, I took it as although I was very bitter about it, I took it as a life lesson. Lesson in business, definitely, and just learnt from it. Now, where does this come into today? Well, about an hour after getting here this morning, I've walked into our clean room from the dirty room to see a figure standing at our large doorway, which was open, with a vehicle behind. And he said, hello, Lee. And do you know what, to start with? I recognised him, but I couldn't put a name to the face. Whether it was shock, I do not know. But I've gradually walked up to the door. He's put his hand out. Annoyingly, I have put my hand out to shake his hand. And lo and behold, I've remembered who it was. It was this gentleman that took us to court. And in shock, I've sort of pulled my hand away. looked at him and he said to me, "I've got a cylinder head in the back of the car. Would you be interested in doing it?" And I have said, I suppose as politely as I could, "No, we wouldn't be interested in it. Goodbye." Let's just put it that way. That's how I put it. He has obviously seen that I'm a little bit upset about it, about our previous dealings. Said, okay, fair enough, turned around and got in his car. My opinion, guys, what a nerve turning up here after what I consider was an unfair piss take, really, wasn't it? He knew what he was doing, I believe. As I say, I'm not saying that that's what he set out to do, but I believe that he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew what the outcome was going to be, what would be best for us. And but to turn up here yet again with another cylinder head, expecting me to do work on that, I do not know what he was thinking. That is some courage, I believe, and I certainly would not be doing that. Whether he believes he didn't do any wrong, don't know. But let me know how you would have handled that, guys, and let me know what you think to that situation. Did I handle it well in very politely telling him to get back into his vehicle and not come here again? Or how would you have dealt with it? Odd one. But we are going to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until Wednesday's video, have a great evening. Enjoy the weather. Cheers.